Hello and welcome back. And in the last video, we ended up with our image right here, but I didn't talk about the overlay. Also, we ended up with our call to action right here that is sticky. And this is a tap to call number. So if you're on a mobile phone, people can just tap this and that will go call directly to somebody else. Now, how does that happen? So we're going to go back to our dashboard right here and we're going to go ahead and go there. We're going to go to Divi and we're going to go to the thing builder. And we're going to click on our custom header right here. Now, in order to make this number sticky, all you have to do is go into the settings right here. And as you can see right there, it's highlighted already. But I just want to show you, if you go to the link button here, you can see that all you have to do is type in TEL with a semicolon there and then the phone number. You don't have to put any parentheses or any dashes or anything like that. Just the whole number right there with the tel in the front and the semicolon. Okay, that's how you do that. And then you say okay. And that's going to make that sticky. So I'm going to click save. I'm going to click exit. And we are going to go back to the site here. Okay, and as you can see, it is clickable because you got the fingers pointing there. So now let's talk about the image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here, edit with Divi. I'm going to hover over here and the settings for the section, I'm going to click that and I'm going to go to the background. And as you can see right here, it has a color fill. So if you click on here, you can adjust the opacity as light or as dark as you want to. Now I see some websites like this where you can barely see the roof line and the workers up there. It just depends on your preference and, the type of text and how dark the text is. Obviously, this is white text, so if you go too light, you're not going to be able to see the text too good against the white backgrounds. So I would make this a little darker, like something like that. So you want to make sure when you do that when you go to your images, you want to make sure that right here where it says background image blend, that it says overlay. You can see there's a lot of things that you could select here, but you want to make sure it says overlay. Okay. So now we want to make sure that we save the strap and we exit out of this. Okay. And so now you know about the overlay, you know about the sticky header, how to make this clickable. Now, let's get to the font on the title here. Now, this title, Reliable Roofing Solutions in your area, is just an AI generated title. A better title for this would be, if I go over here to the settings and I click that, we're going to go into the font settings. As you can see, it's a heading. And if I go into design and heading text, you can see it's an H1. So what do I want this to say? Well, let me type it and I'll show you. So this would be the better title, Emergency Roofing Services in Milford, Connecticut. You're telling them exactly what you're offering them, exactly what services you provide, and in what city that you provide it in. But now we don't like the font. This font looks kind of funky. So what I want to do is I want to go into design. I'm going into the heading text design, which is H1. I am going to go into the fonts. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this font to Poppins because this is a Poppins font down here. And I think Poppins would look better than that. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to search for Poppins, which is right here. And as you can see, it's kind of thin, right? So let me do the semi-bold, see how that looks. That's too fat, I think. Let me go and try to make it medium. That's a little bit better. So now you have Emergency Roofing Services in Milford, CT. So now let's address these buttons here. So I want a button that is on either side of each other, which means, these buttons right here. So how do we get these two buttons together? So what we're going to do is we're going to go here, or we're going to add another row. And with this row, we're going to add a double row, just like this. And we're going to put a button on one side, and we're going to put a button on the other side. So now what we're going to do is we're going to want to go into the button settings right here. And what we're going to do is go into the design element and we're going to go into buttons, alignment, and we're going to click on the far right. So it goes over there just like that. So now you have these two buttons together. Now, do I like the looks of those buttons? Heck no. So let's go and see what we can find here. So let's click on this element right there. And let's go into see where it says default. So if we go to design, we go into buttons, you can see it's using a custom design. Take that off and we go into default. I've got some presets right here. So let's see what button 3 looks like. Okay, so it's preset to button 3. Let's see what button 2 looks like. See how it's clear? It changed right there. Let's see what number test button looks like. So that looks like that. So you can change these presets. You can make new presets by adding a new preset. I kind of like this preset here, except for I don't like that it's really clear in the back. So if we go to design and we go to buttons, and then we go to customize styles here, and we want to click on button background. So you see it's clear right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to click here and we're going to add a background. I'm going to make it black. Okay. And I'm going to change the opacity here so it looks a little bit lighter than just plain black. As you can see, it looks good like that. I think that looks good. So let's go to the content here on the button. Instead of saying click here, I'm going to put tap just like that. So now doing that, how do I get this, when they tap the call, how do we get this to go to where the phone is, right? So we go back to the content here. We click on link. And like we did before, the button URL is going to be tel, T-E-L, semicolon, and then the phone number, 203-333-3333. Okay, that's it. Just like that. Make sure you save. So just like that, you got a new button. So now this button here, we can just trash that, just like that. Okay, so now this button, we want to look like this button, right? So here's an easy way to do that. You just trash that. You go here, you click on copy, and there you have a copy of it, and you can just drop it right in here, just like that. Okay, so it went way over here. So how do we fix that? We go to design, alignment, and we click on this button right here, and it brings it back over there. We want to change the text, and right here we're going to say text and image. Now again, you want to make sure it goes to the right number, so you click link right here. And as you can see, it's already got the number in there because we made a copy of this one and brought it over there. Okay, simple as that. So now we got the buttons made. So now what? So now we go over here, we look at our model. And so now all we have to do is create the form fill, right? So we're going to go back to here and we're going to add another row just like that. We're going to make it a single row and we're going to add a form fill by typing form. And there we go, contact form, just like that. And as you can see, the spacing is not good, right? Yeah. So that's the first thing I want to address. So I'm going to go into design. I'm going to go into spacing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some margin from the top here. And let's just click this up arrow just to bring this down some, just like that. Okay. All right. So just like that, that looks good. Now on the borders, I would like to have a border there. So we're going to click on borders. You can see it's already right there. And what I'm going to do is I am going to pick a color for the border. And I'm going to go ahead and use the black element just like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that this is a solid. So you could make it solid, dash, dotted, whatever you want. I'm going to keep it at solid. And I am going to raise the pixel rate to about 3. So now you can see a light border around there, right? So next I want to tackle the fields because this kind of looks kind of funky, right? So I'm going to go into the fields element right here. I'm going to make sure that the background color of the fields is white. So you click on this and just make sure you click on white right here. And you want to make this transparent. So let's go down and make it look transparent, just like that. Or you could opt into making the fields darker, like a blackish color, but then I would make the borders white. Okay, so it depends on your color palette. I'm just going to go ahead and keep it on white right here. And next we want to tackle the fonts. So see how you can barely see the fonts? So we're going to go out of here and the field text, you just go here and you want the weight to be bold. As you can see, it's bold. I want to raise the font maybe to 16, like that. I want to have the font color be black, like that. Okay, so it's looking good right now, right? Now, the only thing you can't see is the capture numbers, right? So we got to go to capture. So let's go to the capture by getting out of the fields here and go down here to capture. Now the capture weight, I'm going to make this bold as well. I'm also going to make the set text size 16. I'm going to make the capture color, let's make it black. So now let's make the capture button look like these buttons up here. And let's go down here to the button. We want to make this a customizable button. We're going to go to the background. We're going to give it a background color of black. We are going to go ahead and make the opacity a little bit lighter, just like that. And the button text, we're going to keep the default settings and we're going to make it bold. And I also want to make the color white, just like that. And as you can see, now we have all the elements. So if I get out of here, I save the draft. Now we go to preview the page. Now we can see it's looking more like this page right here, but I think it looks a lot better. Only thing we need to do now is put in a title right here, which we did not do. So let's get out of here, go back here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add another row here. We're going to put a single row. We're going to use a text element and we're going to make a title. And in the title I have any questions, contact us. We're going to make that centered. We're also going to make this an H2. And we're going to make the color white. So I want to go into the design, heading text, H2, and I want to make the color white, just like that. Now, I think I want to make the font a little bit bigger. I also want to make it bolder. Let's try medium bold. Let's try a bold. Okay. So now what we need to do is put some spacing in here. So we're going to go here. Let me get out of this. Go design. We want to go into spacing. And I'm going to add some margin here to the top so it comes down. Just like that. Okay. So now let's look at it in mobile. Let's see how it looks. So as you can see in mobile, it's looking pretty good. The only thing here is we have these two things that are spread apart. Well, the simplest thing that you could do is you can go into the row settings right here, and you can go up to here to design. You can go into sizing, and what you're going to do is, right now they get the width at 68, but if you take this width and you just do it like this, so now they're on top of each other. If you go into the desktop view, you can see they're aligned, and if you look at the tablet view, you can see that you're still aligned. But here in the mobile view, they still kind of look funky. So what you need to do is we need to go to the individual buttons themselves, click on that, go into the design, go into the text element, and what we're going to do is we're going to make the button text smaller by clicking this down arrow here. As you can see now, it looks more normal, right? And we're going to get out of this. I want to save this. So what happened here is that when I clicked on I must have hit the trash can, so I deleted the button by accident. So all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go ahead and copy this button, and I'm just going to bring this up here like this. And so now we have it there. I want to change the text on this button, button text for content. So I'm going to go to the settings in this button. I'm going to go to content, and I'm going to tap to just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save that. And I'm going to go back into the row settings again. And I'm going to go into sizing. And I'm going to resize this just a little bit more. I'm going to save that. I'm going to go back to this button here. And I'm going to go to spacing. I'm going to put a little bit of a left pad here just to make this more center. Just like that. And now it looks good, right? So now we're going to save the draft. We're going to go back to the desktop to make sure everything's cool. Now this went over here. Now we want to go ahead and go back into this row here. Back into design. Alignment. We want to go back over here like this. Save the draft. Go back to here. We're just making sure that these buttons line up. Now, as you can see, this is doing this thing again. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a little bit of padding on this one right here. And we're going to go into design. We're going to go into spacing. And we're going to put a little bit of padding here like that for mobile. Let's go back and make sure that it's just the same. Okay, so we can say save it. We go into the notepad view. You can see that it's fine back in here. Okay, so we got everything set. And as you can see, if I go into the preview now, we have a much better looking landing page right now. And so in the next session, what we're going to do is we're going to just touch on these other elements right here, how to make them more conducive to your business. I want to thank you for watching. If you got any value out of this video, please consider subscribing and tinging that icon bell so you're notified every time that I come out with a new video like this. And remember, there's going to be another video in the series, so if you aren't subscribed yet, you can go down in the description to see the previous videos, or you can watch a future video. So I will see you in the next video.